Now that we know what the flipped classroom is and how to restructure our class time and homework, the next question to ask is, where can I find resources that my students can use prior to class? There are several ways to approach finding resources. The most common way is to use online videos. There's a variety of free things out there that we as educators can just spend our time searching, reviewing, and picking a tool that's going to work for our students. YouTube, Khan Academy, BrainPop, all of these video services allow us to simply tell our students the link or video name and trust that they can go home and access them. All of these online video services, such as YouTube and Khan Academy, allow students to simply go home, look up the video we've assigned, and watch it. If your district has access to a paid service such as BrainPop, that's another great way to keep students engaged outside of the classroom. It doesn't just have to be online videos, though. Any online content, or honestly, any content at home that students can use to gain the knowledge, will be appropriate. I love learner.org because they have online interactive modules that students can work through. Web page content analysis is another great way to get students thinking and engaging with content outside of the classroom. I'll literally assign a web page or two and ask students to go home to review the web page, to analyze the content, and maybe even ask students to analyze conflicting ideologies between various web pages. You can also upload PowerPoints and send home notes. This way students can go to your blog, download your PowerPoint presentation, and work through the content at their own pace. If you're unable to find an already created online resource, then the next step would be to create your own content. This is actually easier than you think. There's several ways to do this. The most popular way is to do a screencast. What you're watching right now is a screencast. There's some software available, Jing being one of them, that's absolutely free, that will allow you to quickly create screencasts. Screencasts will capture any action that takes place on your monitor as well as your voice. QuickTime's another one that's free for all Mac users, and Camtasia costs money but gives you a lot of control as an educator, even the ability to embed a quiz in the end of your screencast. Once you create a screencast, you can use a free service such as screencast.com or YouTube to upload your video to the internet and make it available for students. Using a blog is another great way to keep students up to date on what content you'd like and have them access it outside the classroom. If you don't have a blog as a teacher, then a few places to check out are wordpress.com and edublogs.org. These are both places that you can quickly establish a free blog and start adding content to it so your students can access that content outside of class. Podcasts are a more simplified way to get information to your students. These are typically just audio, and you can record the audio on anything. Even most cell phones today have the ability to record audio. You can then upload the podcast to something that has an RSS feed, such as your blog or a podcast service. Once you have the podcast in the feed, you can then submit that feed to the iTunes library. This is a really handy thing for our students because so many of our students have iPods, iPhones, or iPads. Once your podcast is in the iTunes library, students can quickly download that information to their device and they have instant learning on the go. Right now, I'm going to quickly show you one place that's a great starting point for finding online content. YouTube actually has its own educational channel, which can be found at youtube.com/education. Here, there's a variety of videos that are actually categorized by content area. For example, if I scroll down, I can see that there's primary and secondary education, university, lifetime learning. There's even videos for science and engineering, social studies, the social sciences, humanities, history, mathematics, business, arts, law, education, medicine, and even languages. Typically, when I'm trying to find a video for class, this is the first place that I check. I just pop on to the YouTube education channel and quickly search in the top bar to see if any keywords from the content that I'm teaching come up. I recommend reviewing all videos to make sure that they're appropriate for your class, as well as teaching the content that you want to teach. Often you'll find a variety of videos for your particular subject, and so you'll have to take the time to move through the videos to figure out which one's going to be best for your students.